Well, the wind is up. A storm just came through, and the boys had to come off the water from a day of fishing. And when I say boys, I mean our little fishermen. We are going to be whittling up our little salty fisherman. Oh, salty fisherman. Continuing in our 1x1 series. So, not gonna do it here. Gonna head back to the shop and carve them up. But super fun project. Love these little guys. One of my favorite things ever to carve. So, I'll meet you in the shop. Okay, back in the shop. Like I said, we're gonna carve up a little fisherman, a little 1x1 fisherman. Now, I posted or reposted my introduction to the 1x1 series on the community post, but if you missed that, go back and watch the introduction to the 1x1 series, because I got myself pumped up from watching a video from a year ago. I wonder if my whole carving journey hasn't led me back to the 1x1 series, because I am having a ball. You know, I just made a video, I don't know, 6-7 days ago, but I've done other stuff, 2 jobs, family, and you say, I don't have time to carve. How do I carve five little men in a couple days and have them finished up and painted? Because they're 1x1. Take your little 1x1, put it in your pocket, whittle on it wherever you go. It's the greatest thing. But you're here watching, so you must know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna carve a little. What is he? He's not a true fisherman. He is a true fisherman in the ocean lake front, but not a shore fisherman, right? So we're gonna. What are we gonna call him? Salty. We'll call him an old salty fisherman. But 1x1, obviously. They're 3 inches tall. Now, as you know, the last few, and I recommend now leaving a little base. Just gives a little bit more of a sturdy stance when you set them down. So take a full piece or whatever you got. Mark your 3 inches. Give yourself something to hang on to, and let's carve a little salty fisherman. All right, let's go. Okay, got my old piece of basswood here, and I'm going to start from the top. 3 inches. That is our height of our man. So that is the bottom of the feet. So anything below that will be the base, but of course you can choose the height of the base. All right. Now, I'm going to come down. I'm going to mark 2 inches. That's the corner of the elbow. And 1.25 inches is the front of the face. All right. Now I'm going to draw a face on there right now. Isn't that beautiful? Because I have carved around to make the face and then put the shoes on the back side. So that's our face, and that will always be our face. Now, I said 1.25 inches on the front, all right? But what we're going for is this hat, and you can see the hat has to keep the rain off your neck, so it's got to be lower than your chin, okay? So all we're going to do is just go down maybe 1/4 inch lower at the back, okay? Another reason to mark a face, because you might think that's the beard or something. Okay. Now I'm gonna put my hit the camera and put my carving glove on like a good boy. All right. I'm going to be using a Harley knife, an overkill knife. It's big. If you have anything over 1.25 inches, it's fine. But for some reason, I've been playing with this one lately, and I'm liking it. I like to snug up on it. I can use it as a little knife too when I need to. But anyway, Harley knife made by Pinewood Forge, and good luck getting one. The guy's retiring, but he still makes the occasional one. If you get on a waiting list, you got a chance. Okay, marking the bottom. Just going straight in. You know the drill. We're going to just mark in all of our landmarks before we fine-tune anything. The corners. All I'm doing is just making a lip to know exactly what the bottom of my carving is. Right? And I was saying to someone the other day, I said, well, I'm a little bit off in my measurements and it's a little bit different. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's just a carving. All right? Bottom of the chin. Now I'm going to do big, bold V cuts. All right? Just going to mark that in there. Same thing, the back of the hat. Just dig it in with some V cuts. And now we're just going to join them all up. You know, I've said this before, I like to carve clean. So as you're cutting around, just don't leave any big snots in there. It's so much easier. At least you can do what you want, but I just find it's better to keep it clean along the way than you're not picking at it at the end of the carving, right? But you do you, right? There we go. That's where we are. All right. Now, we marked our elbow, so let's just go from our elbow mark. I'm going to go up this way, right to the bottom of that V cut. And from there, all right to the bottom. Like so. If you did the pumpkin, you can tell we're on our way to the same body type, right? We'll look at it, say, that looks fairly close. Whatever we do on one side, we do on the other, right? All right. There we go. Now, the back, say from the butt, it's going to make a big flat area. I'm really liking these flat planes. Someone said the other day, I don't like flat plane carving, but that's what we're doing. To a certain extent, there's many definitions, but I like to see a few nice big bold flat planes, even if the finishing isn't considered exactly flat plane carving. Okay, now we're going to go from, say, about the waist, right? Same thing. Just going to go up the front, right up under the chinny chin. And if we keep this all symmetrical with our planes, these lines are all lines that will keep us in order, in line with each other, all right? So you'll see that when we get to the arms and whatnot, but if you keep a nice symmetrical cuts, everything is going to work out, all right? And then from the waist, we're going to go down. And at this stage too, if you're a little bit off, either make them fatter or skinnier, it don't matter, all right? A fairly big bottom on that so that we can put our shoes, but there, we're getting a little bit of shape, all right? Halfway between the elbow and the bottom, and I say again, roughly halfway, we're going to put in a line for the butt, all right? And all the butt's going to be, going to come down, up, down, thinning up those legs. There, we got a butt. Look at that. Let's jump around the front, give ourselves a good 1/4 inch or so. We'll just kind of set in the shoes. Now, before we decide what kind of coat we're going to wear, we're not going to go too high on the shoes. So let's just get a good deep V cut and then walk away. All right. Okay. That's where we're headed. So far, so good. Let's say on the head here. Let's just pretend the center is the bottom of our nose. And this is just to save some real estate. I'm just going to swoop that up. Then we got our nose shape, okay? We'll just save that for later. What I didn't do is mark the center. I always like to keep everything centered. Now, when we look at these fisherman hats, right? You can see that little swoop there. See the little swoop? That's not quite center. That's going to be ending up back, just a little back of center. All right? So all this is going to swale up into that. All right? So keep that sideways for now. Okay? So let's just knock off a good, take these corners off of here. You can see I'm just leaving like a healthy 1/4 inch flat. Just as we keep going around. Alright. Now I'm going to take, we come down 1/4 even. Come across. All working to shape our little hat. Alright. Even the front. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, I'm just going to start scooping. Alright? Just start scooping all the way around. You can watch your lines in the top, and that will keep you in line and in check with what you did on the other side. Right? I'm going to flatten that a little bit there. Right from the bottom, even to the side. See that? The side here. And the bottom. Get all my saw marks off while I'm here. Alright. And then bring it over. So right there, we hit that mark. So now, we're going to work into it. But now, I want to get the center line this way. All right. Work my way over to the center line. And then from here, I want to get that little swoop there. Just using the tip of my knife. It's nothing drastic. It's not a point or anything. And if you didn't do it, nobody would know the difference either. But for me, I want to see that annoying little point of the hood. See that? And I think we did it. Now, if I never touch this again on the back, we're good. I'll put a little crease while I'm here. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Now, we're going to cut in our hood. All right. So I'm just going to stay down. Don't worry about the saw marks or whatever. We're just shaping. And now I can see I got that flat plane on the shoulder. So if I say to myself, I'm going to come right center of that flat plane, and I go to this side and say, I want to come center of that flat plane, we should be pretty even, right? I'm just going to take the tip of my knife and I'm just going to go around and cut it in. Be very careful. Cut it 2 or 3 times if you need to. As long as it's in the same cut. You don't want to try and horse too much off and then break it. But, alright. We'll see how that did. Cutting up to that line. Now this is the part we don't want to do too many times. We want to keep this fairly clean. Otherwise, you know how that goes. You got all these little cuts in there. Alright. I would say it looks pretty symmetrical. So now I'm just going to take the edge off my hat here. Get the saw marks off. Add a couple. Alright. Pencil legs. Go away, pencil. Okay, look at that. Now, this is the fun part here. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to stick my knife straight in. I'm going to come forward, leaving at the bottom a healthy 1/4 inch. See that? I'm going to come across flat. Take it out. See that? Same thing on this side. I take my knife, stick it right in there. Come forward. I keep looking at this because I think I am a little bit forward, but we'll see. Come across, take it out. Look at it. Well, that is symmetrical. I thought I was wrong, but I was mistaken. Alright. There we go. That's a great setup for our head. Okay. Now, let's jump back down to the body. I'm going to take all these saw marks off, or rough wood marks off. See how miserable that's starting to peel that way? I'm going to turn around and go this way. So as not to pull the grain up, like I did there. Okay. Now I look at that. All symmetrical. Still happy. So we have to decide what kind of a coat are we going to do. Now let's just, to me, I think we'll stick with the traditional coat. I do like the overalls, but we'll hit them later with a farmer or something. And you can put the arms straight down to the coat. You know who does these the best, in my opinion, is Kevin Coates. He does a fantastic fisherman. He's an East Coaster, and he lives the life, so he knows what he's talking about. But let's just go ahead with a longer coat, which will be so. Now we got our butt there already, so that's going to work out pretty good. Alright. So I'm just going to go around. I'm going to cut up to that. So we got our butt a little bit high. How are we going to fix that? We're gonna take more wood off. Let me start from the bottom here. I'm just gonna make that lower. There's nothing we can't fix. Alright. Now. There's our little bum left. Alright. I'm gonna put a little angle on that too. Little butt. Alright. I still got, excuse me, still got some raw wood here, so let's take that off while we're here. As you can tell, my voice still is crappy. We're about 4 weeks in, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Alright, quit fiddling, Doug. Okay, there is our coat. Get out of there. So, in our coat, we need some pocketses. Alright? I'm going to keep these over to the side a little bit more. Alright, see that? Now I can look at that line. So much easier. When you got these planes to go by, right? So I come up, a little bit forward, like so. And the back, I'm going to go a little bit wider. I started doing this, so you don't have to have the exact same arm to go with it. Just leave the back a little bit straighter. See that? I like it. I like it. Alright. Now, we're going to do this once. Hopefully once. So I'm going to stick my knife in. Alright, wiggling her down. Come from the bottom. Stick it up. Same thing on this side. Sticking her in deep. Deep. And then hopefully I'm going to go in deep on this side. Get a good chip out of there. Like that. Nothing worse than all those little peck marks where you keep hitting it with your knife. Alright, so now I'm going to put a little angle on there. Bam. Get out of there. Like so. Alright. There we go. Alright. You're going to do the back from the pocket. Straight back. Straight back. Now here, I'm going to put a little stop cut at the pocket. And I'm just going to cut up to it. Look at the back. Take out my pencil line. Give it a little swoop even. Knock it off. Look at me with my anal facets. I want them all to even out. Okay, that's the back, right? The front. Now we gotta get these pockets. And I'm not gonna get carried away with the pockets. I'm just gonna put a little chip cut pencil line off of there. That's all I'm doing. I'm not digging in deep or nothing. I do like a little chip cut each side of the pocket. I already did that side. Little V cut. Bob's your uncle. There you go. Okay. Can you clean that up a little bit in there? But otherwise, that's it. If we want to put a little extra wrinkle or two, we can do that. There we go. Now, I'm going to give my camera a break before it overheats, and we'll be right back. Yeah, so I'm a little bit nervous now because I had the camera shut off on me one time and blew a whole tutorial, so trying to remember to watch it. All right. I'm just cleaning it up a little bit here. Okay, there we go. Now, we can mark center of our feet here. Right. Center of our back legs. This one here, I'm just going to put a little stop cut on the top and the bottom. I'm just going to take a little V cut out of the center, both ways. And then on the butt side, I'm just going to go up, across. Like so. There you go. All right, that's the back. It's pretty much done. But on the shoes here, I'm going to let's get these legs in a little bit. All right. Let's narrow them down from the coat. All right, a little bit better. We're going to take that angle across and down. Like that. See it? One side to the next. Come across. And come down. Meet on the side. Alright, now we can put boots or shoes or whatever, but let's just keep to simple pants. Alright? So I'm gonna split the shoes. Alright. I'm gonna stick my knife in this way, split the legs. Now I'm going to come down, sticking it deep in there, and hopefully come across the shoe and match it like so. Okay, that's one side. Down, deep, and across, and hopefully catch it. And I did okay. There's if you've done many of these, you'll know that you can start digging a hole in there and get lost. So we avoided it again. All right, get out of there. Okay, pants. We're just going to come across in front of the shoe very carefully and just kind of slide our knife into that little cut. Down there. Very gently. Over here. Just a little slice. Like so. Okay. And then back down over here. Don't want to push on these. Just slide your knife. All right. Come on, come on. You can do it. Get out. All right. There's our little footwear. This is nice to put a little wrinkle cut up here too. So we've got the top hat done. We got the bottom feet done. We got a coat to do. So let's do the coat. I'm gonna do a little bit, go a little bit off-centered. Just kind of swoop it, give it a little bit of action here. All right. Now I always have to double check what side the buttons go on because I'm a dummy, but it's always that side. So that means this is over top and the buttons come through. So this is the low side. All right. I have more carvings with buttons on the opposite side. People like to correct that, but that's okay. Now, anytime we have a coat like that, that's yucky. We're gonna make that uneven, right? So let's just take a little chip out of the bottom. See that? And we've staggered it a bit, right? Get out of there. What are you doing there? Okay, that's better. So we can you can paint buttons on, which I kind of recommend, or you can drill little holes, take a dowel, stick them in, leave them up just a little bit and cut them off. They make real nice buttons too, but not today, all right? What I think, we want that coat. You can imagine wearing a long coat. It's going to come down a little bit, kind of hug your body a little bit better. So we got quite a point out here. So let's just bring it down a little bit. Bring that down. But make a circle. All right. To the head. Now we made that little swooping cut for the nose, so I'm just going to start right there, and I'm going to come and set that nose in there, right? And before we lose that, that's our point, so that's center, right? Okay, I'm going to go from the point, I'm going to swoop her over this way, swoop over this way. Look at that, I can see a little line starting to form. I put a wire edge on that, so it's probably a little bit weak. It's time for a stropping. But I think we're gonna get through it, okay? I'm going to take all the rough wood off of there as best I can. So that if we leave a facet, it's done. Better to carve off one plane than multiple after the fact. Okay. Like I said, so we got our center line, our nose going right up there. Let's take the chin back flat a little bit. All right. And then bring our edge of our nose up, like so. set in our brow ridge, wherever we think we want it. I think we want it right here. All right, so I'm going to come across, I'm going to come down, I'm going to try and match it. All right, not bad. Okay, now I'm going to leave a little space for the nose, the bridge of the nose. So give yourself an 1/8 of an inch or so. I'm just going to cut that in like so. Then I'm going to look at my nose and say, are you symmetrical? And you'll pass, right? Okay. So I'm going to stick that down there. I'm going to try and bring that down a hair. I want to bring the bottom of the eye, I want to bring it into the nose. So by doing that little straight cut there, I'm going to bring my knife in, and then I'm going to come down. See that? I lowered that bottom lid. See that? A little bit of chips. Get the chips out. My brush. Alright, good enough. There we go. We've lowered our eyelid down. Okay, let's go to our nose. Oh, hang on. Pencil line. Evens it out. Good enough. Yeah. Always looking for symmetry. I want to the edge of my nose. Alright. I'm going to take that one little angle here. Straight in. These are just little pointed cuts. I'm going to come down. Right. I'm going to come across. Pop that nose right out there like that. Yeah. Same on this side. Get that chip out of there. There, look at that. That nose just popped right out of there. Okay. Now I'm going to angle it up just a little bit. I'm going to take this is a fun one here. I'm going to just kind of come up here. Just going to touch the nose with my knife. And a little V-cut into it. Right. Just a hint of a nasal flare. Right. Okay, let's get that flattened out there. Since we're not going to be farting around with V-tools and gouges and stuff, I do kind of like again, I do like the flat planes of this guy. So, if we want to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to come down, set in the mustache, okay, first. See that? And then we're going to take the edges off of here. Here. Well, undercut that, clean that up. Come on. Alright. I'm going to come up like so on both sides. Right. just a V cut to the mustache. We don't want to get into that mustache. All right. See that? And I want to take the bottom of the cheek out. Straight. Like that. All right. Little V cut up. Cut down. Take the bottom of the cheek out flat. Take a little whisker there. Get out of there. Okay. Now we'll just put the bottom of our mustache here. It's a very bold, heavy mustache. All right. And if we want to give him a mouth, we can just give him a mouth by a little bit deeper, just a little bit deeper, right in the center. Right. Some of these have, I guess, yeah, this guy doesn't have a lip. That guy has a lip, but he's also got more of a beard. Let's try it. Bring that mustache up a little bit. Now we'll come down. Oh, you can see that. Just a lips distance. You know what I'm talking about. A lips difference. All right. All right. Now just take a little swooping deep cut in the center. I don't love it. Now I'm going to play with it. Now I'm going to play with it. One little chip, get it. Okay, that's better. I can live with that. All right, now the eyes. Let's give ourselves a nice clean plane on the eyes. And you'll notice that the eyes are, that's an angle. See that? The plane is a bit of an angle. All right. I'm not going to worry about all these little chips here because I'm going to take the eyes out of there. So we're just going to make some simple enough eyes right from the top of the nose. Like so. All right. To do that, now I'm going to stick my knife in. Pop the chip out. Easier said than done. You little rat. There. Same thing on the outside. And pop the chip out. The outside over here. Throw your carving. Where am I? Just the tip of my knife. Pop that chip out. Alright. I got the shakes right now. I need a coffee. I need a coffee. Okay, we got our outside chips out. Now we're just going to come across top. Undercut that. Right. I think our little pencil lines are evil. Okay, that's one eye. Try and get that pencil line the first time. Got up to it. This is where I like the length of the knife, where I can just kind of reach and get into it. All right, now if you want to do extra, you can do eyebrows, whatever, but I'm going to flatten the plane of the head there. We put one little V cut on the top of the nose. And that way that will set you up for painting on a eyebrow. And if you want to get carried away, you just kind of give a little swoop with your knife. And you give it some real estate for the eyebrow. See that? Can you see the eyebrow? Right? There we go. There we go. Okay. What do you want to do now? I think we're okay. You can put collars, like I said, buttons, but looking over him, I'd say he looks okay. I'm going to wet him like Gene Messer always does, because that just gives you the highlights. This makes your carving look finished. That's one thing I always like to do. Alright. I like the shape. You know, all these guys we're doing right now are static, but if we stick with this 1x1 series and going forward, I want to end up getting our guys with movement, tilted heads, turned bodies, you know, but we're still at the beginner carving here. So if I want to do something extra here, see that hat? It's pretty flat. Maybe I'll just kind of stick my knife in there. Get that hat in a bit. Give a little hollow back in there. See that? From that side, you can see the little hollow. I do like that. Let's do that over here. Anytime we can create a little bit more, there we go, I like that. A little more shadow. But, all right, sign your name, cut the base. As far as painting goes, go back in the playlist. I have lots of painting videos that will give you all the tips and tricks you could ever want. And yeah, if you do a bunch, I like changing the colors up. I've never seen a red raincoat before, I don't think, but I gave him a red raincoat, so you can give him a purple raincoat for all I care. This guy here, very easily. I do like the no beard guy, simple face. Of course, I always like a smoking guy. So, but that's about it. All right, there's our little man. Give him a go. Take your time. Add as much or as little detail as you want. It's your carving, but lots of fun. Highly recommend it. And as you can see, we're building. It's all building. Like, what's the difference from pumpkin head body to our fisherman body? You know, it's just a matter of switching it up, making them your own. But we're going to continue. I should have gave this guy pupils. We're going to continue with this little series. We're going to make all kinds of different people and eventually a woman. But just by adding these little pupils here, look at that. We gave him character. I should have done that before. But all right, guys, that's it for this week. And I'll catch you again with something totally different, hopefully. So, all right, see you next time.